DevNexus 2024, and I have a special guest with me right now, and that's Jeanne Boyarsky. Welcome, Jeanne.
Hi.
You might remember we did an interview in Propulsion Lab in UberConf last year,
Yes.
and we spoke about Jeanne's tremendous work on what used to be Code Ranch and now Java Ranch and now Code Ranch, and how you take this huge task of monitoring like the entire online community and how awesome it is. But today we're going to talk about something special, and that's your new book.
Yes.
Tell us everything about it.
I have two new books. I have
Two
the
new
Java
books, oh my
21
God.
certification book, which is probably not a surprise to anybody because it's a successor to the Java 17 certification book.
Of course.
But I also have a new book. I'm writing a book with Victor Grazi called Real World Java, and the idea is to bridge the gap between when you either transfer careers or you learn Java, you learn a lot about core Java, maybe you learn a little about Spring, and then it's like, all right, go get a job. And it's like, okay, but you also need to know Git and Maven and this and that and the other. Like, there's so many things you need to know, and it's overwhelming to pick up a book on any of those topics because they assume you're an experienced developer and have hordes of knowledge. The idea of this book is to be a bridge of, after you know the language and the basics, this is your next step, where you learn a decent amount about all of these things, and then you're prepared to start using them and to read an in-depth thing on any topic that you choose. Also, like, how do you learn even what's out there? Like, how do you know you need to learn Docker?
Oh,
Like,
I think, yeah, no, I think this is critical because there is a huge gap between the academic learning of, hey, okay, you learn Java, and what you actually do in real
Yes.
life. There are books, so there is like the software engineer, the missing manual,
Yes.
which is a great book in general
Right.
about the gap
Yes.
between your studies and the real
I love
world.
that book.
Right, it's great. I gave it as a gift to my son who graduated.
Good choice.
It's software in software computer science, and he was like, "Oh, we didn't learn any of that."
Right.
But that's exactly the point,
Yes.
right? And but there is also very specific gaps.
Right, in our ecosystem.
In our ecosystem, exactly, and
Yes.
that's that.
Yes.
So that will be a perfect complement. Now my gift kit to new graduates will have 2 books instead of 1.
Right, so shout out to Victor for having the idea for the book, and he's a great co-author, so it's been fun working on it together.
This is excellent. When do we expect the book?
It's going to be in the fall. We're about
Okay.
half done with the writing, and then we have the other half of the writing, and then, as you know, there's a process where
yeah.
your thing becomes a book.
Yeah.
But it is coming out. It's got an ISBN number. We're very excited about it.
Very cool, very cool. It is exciting. So, first of all, I think I got, who's the publisher?
Wiley.
O'Reilly.
Yeah. No, Wiley. Wiley/Starbucks.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was excited for a bit for O'Reilly because they sponsor our jug and send free books.
Sorry.
And I thought that I might get your book because we have a lot of graduates and students, and it would be a perfect
Yeah.
gift.
No, it's
But-
Wiley. It's the same publisher as my other book.
Right, but maybe we will talk about something that getting like sponsoring our jug and getting those books, because I think they're excellent.
Yeah.
For this particular, for beginners, it should
Yes.
be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So on the subject of the other boring book, Java
It's kind
certification.
of boring, but people have heard of it and know I'm writing a
So
certification.
this is what I want to talk about. Now, we didn't speak about it last time, but it's
Right.
obviously not your first book for
Yes.
preparations for certifications. I'm Java certified for something as ridiculous in Java 1.4.
Okay.
That was a while.
Yeah, pretty much a completely different language at that point.
Absolutely. My question, though, is a little bit more broader. In 2024, what value do you see in doing Java certification in general? What will be the good use case for people, like just an algorithm of knowing, hey, I do need the certifications, or maybe, you know what, I can skip it. It's not very relevant to my scenario.
Right.
What are the guidelines? Who are the people who need to look into Java certification? And obviously will be very good target audience for your book.
So there's a few. Some people live in countries or have employers that care very much about the cert, then you should absolutely get the cert and take the cert and study for the
What
cert.
will be the examples?
In India, certs are very common, and here there are a few companies, which I don't want to name because I don't know if
No,
it's
it's
public
fine.
knowledge that they care about them, but you know if you work for an employer where they're like, so you need to upgrade your Java cert, it's like, okay, we can get on that. But there's also, if you're entry level or changing careers, it helps you learn the language more deeply and show that you did it. For people like us, there's a lot of value for studying for the cert because you learn these new features more deeply, but the actual taking of the cert becomes less important, right? You're not going to get a different job because you have a Java 21 cert, but learning the stuff in it and learning it more deeply does help. Same thing for the conference talk today, right? People get to, oh, I didn't know that about virtual threads. It's like, cool, now you do, right? And that knowledge is separate from the cert paper, so I would recommend studying for the cert, even if you don't find value in actually taking the exam.
This is a very good point, because studying for a cert, as opposite to just reading a book or skimming through a book, organizes your knowledge.
Right, and it makes you think about, oh, what happens when that happens? I didn't realize that, and it's way better to find out when you're reading the book than when you're encountering it and like.
Yep. And it kind of fills all the blanks. There are some things that you know about Java 21, but there are probably more. And when you do the cert study, you kind of cover all of it.
Yes.
So you fill your blanks and you get it.
Right, and then you're ready
like
to use these features.
Exactly. You get it strategically organized about knowing stuff.
Yeah.
That would be me. I mean, I have this FOMO that I know some stuff and but I don't know other. So doing this kind of learning kind of guarantees that you covered all the bases and you actually know everything there is to know about it.
There is a group that shouldn't take the test, which is people who are Java 17 certified. There's not enough of a difference between 17 and 21 to be worth doing it again. For those people, I just recommend reading the articles about the new features. But if it's been longer than that, the language has had time to change enough that it becomes valuable.
Excellent. Yeah, this is a great tip. So, Jeanne, thank you very much. We're looking forward towards the new book, and I think I know it's going to be a hit. I'm going to recommend it left and right, just because, first of all, I love you, but also because how this is the missing link.
Yeah, it fills a need.
For tons of folks out there graduating right now, knowing their Java, but not knowing what else they need to know even, right? So this is great. And obviously the Java certification, take a look, you'll fill the gaps, and sometimes you just need the certification itself.
Yeah.
Jeanne, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And folks, you know what, don't even leave. Trisha and Roberto Perez are right here, ready to jump and do an amazing interview about all things that related to testing and all things that related to developer productivity with testing. So stand by.